Hello, and welcome to this week's special edition of the Friday Night Mega Mirror Special. This week we are dedicating this show to the recent 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing, and we will be talking with our very own expert, the Casual Spaceman. So buckle up tight and get ready to launch. The countdown has begun, and we'll be right back.
T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back. It's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
Okay, we got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading. Plus 30 seconds.
Roll complete and a pitches program.
One Bravo is a abort control mode. Altitude's 2 miles.
Oh, well, in Houston, you're good at 1 minute.
Downrange 1 mile. Altitude 4 miles now. Velocity 2,195 feet per second.
And we're back. For those of you just joining us, today we are speaking with an awesome creator who has really taken center stage this past month with his incredible Apollo videos, the Casual Spaceman. Let's get things started. Hello, Spaceman, and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, so thank you very, very much for having me on. I'm really grateful. So I thought in honour of it's the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 this year, I thought I'd have the background image of the Apollo 11 mission control at the Johnson Space Center. So I hope you like it.
I love it. It's a very fitting place for this edition. I'm so excited to have you on the show today. I guess the thing that most of our viewers would like to know is how you got started on YouTube.
Well, I really got involved in becoming a YouTuber after many years of being involved in politics here in the UK. But I was getting very disillusioned with it, and it was becoming very hateful with the debates and things like that. So I felt that it was kind of really sucking the life out of me, and I wasn't really enjoying it. So I gave that up. But then I wanted to replace it with something that I had an interest in, that I enjoyed. I was already watching lots of YouTube videos about space and space exploration. An issue I used to watch quite a lot of Tim Dodd's The Everyday Astronaut, Curious Droid, and other people like that. And I thought I'd maybe sort of give a go at becoming a YouTuber, so I wanted to do a little bit more research. So I started noticing people like Simon Dan and Conspiracy Cats and things like that. They were becoming quite influential. Fight the Flat Earth, Team Skeptic, and also Red's Rhetoric, because he was covering live launches himself. So I really got introduced to our community through Fight the Flat Earth, Craig, who introduced me to the community. So then I made the decision to make a start in March of this year.
That's very interesting. I have to say that your recent Apollo videos were fabulous. How did your obvious interest in the space program start, and when?
Well, my interest in a space program, space exploration, really started at a very young age. In fact, I think it was about 1975 or 1976, somewhere around there. I was about 5 or 6 years of age. I was born in 1970, the year after the Apollo 11. And what happened was I found an old photo album in a big chest of drawers of my parents. Opened it up, and in the back, amongst all the photographs, I found a newspaper clipping. And obviously, I didn't know then, but it was all about the moon landings and Apollo 11. And I was looking at the photographs, and I recognised something I knew as a spaceman that I'd seen on cartoons and TV shows and things like that at the time. So I recognised a spaceman against something that I assumed was a spacecraft, but I didn't know what he was walking on, or what appeared to be walking on. So I asked my mum and dad, and my dad told me all about it. And really that forward on, for many years, I was fascinated by it and read lots of books on it. I started off with the very simple ones, chip picture books, and also about the planets and things like that. And then I followed the story of Skylab. And then later on, a bit further down the line, the space shuttle started as well, the development of that, and then the launch of the space shuttle, and of course the building of the ISS. But then it became quite routine, really, and for a good many years I really lost interested in it, really, to be honest with you. I think I still kept reading books about Apollo and different things like that, but I wasn't really following what was going on with the space program, because it became quite stale a little bit, in my opinion, although a lot of it still was quite important. So really it was recent times my interest in it became sort of a little bit boosted with the commercial space program, and of course the biggest one being SpaceX, and of course Blue Origin coming through as well. We've seen a lot more satellite launches, and of course with social media that's been developed now, you've got more access to that kind of thing. So my interest has been sparked again. So yeah, that's where we are now.
Well, your extensive knowledge of Apollo and space exploration in general certainly shows. One of my favorite parts of your channel is Mission Control News. Let's have a look at episode 1 from that series.
Hi, I'm the Casual Spaceman, and welcome to the first ever episode of Mission Control News. This is where I give you the who, what, why, where and when, news, views and hopefully the odd interviews in the world of space exploration and space travel. I give you the lowdown on the key players like SpaceX, NASA, Blue Origin and many others. I'll also give you updates on the planned NASA mission to return to the moon by 2024 and whatever else comes along that's newsworthy. But above all, I'll keep it as simple as possible and geek-free. So let's get into it. I think it would be remiss of me if I didn't make the very first episode of Mission Control News about NASA and the planned mission to take humans back to the moon by 2024. Dubbed
Project Artemis, for some reason after the Greek god of hunting and animals. Yeah, I know. In December 2018, US President Donald Trump signed the so-called Space Policy Directive, or SPD-1, as it is now commonly known, which included the instruction for NASA to return American astronauts to the moon by 2024. Some 3 months later, Vice President Mike Pence boldly and confidently highlighted this directive at the 5th meeting of the National Space Council, while announcing the biggest budget since Apollo. Not only that, but also announced that NASA had at last developed a plan to achieve SPD-1 by the date set by President Trump. This created a buzz of excitement. It marked a significant change in deadlines for NASA, which had been targeting 2028 for its first human landings on the lunar surface, while Orion, NASA's deep space human crewed spacecraft, was playing a key role in those plans. There is a huge amount to be done, as the plan to put men back on the moon is dependent upon the Lunar Gateway. Now, the Lunar Gateway is essentially a space station orbiting the moon, so think ISS but for the moon. According to NASA's website, they are planning to start building this gateway in the 2020s, using the SLS, or Space Launch System. Although I suspect both SpaceX and probably Blue Origin will play a part in deploying modules to the gateway, and I'm certain they will play a part in taking humans to the gateway. Certainly private companies are playing a big role in the development, as NASA always do with most projects, and recently announced that Maxar Technologies has been selected to provide the power and propulsion element of the Lunar Gateway. Maxar Technologies is a Colorado-based space technology company that specializes in satellite, communications, Earth observation and radar technologies. Exciting as this return to the moon by 2024 announcement is to most of us, there does seem to be some doubt creeping in, and it seems to revolve around the budget. NASA's administrator has said that Project Artemis needs at least another $1.6 billion to achieve the directive. So far, it doesn't look like this extra budget, as of yet, has been secured. Having said that, some are reporting that the extra $1.6 billion is very conservative and may not be enough. Not only that, there's been delays in development of Space Launch System and Orion. Can NASA meet the challenge of landing men on the moon again by 2024? Well, that remains to be seen, and will probably become clear by the end of this year or sooner, when or if the full budgets have been secured and NASA can iron out the issues with SLS and Orion, and of course move forward quickly with the Lunar Gateway. In my opinion, 2024 might be ambitious, but as long as NASA can iron out all these delays and the US government are forthcoming with whatever extra money is needed, then I think it's achievable. Although there may be some doubts, I remain optimistic. If you remember, there were very many people that thought President Kennedy's challenge to land men on the moon by the end of the 1960s was over-ambitious, and they managed to actually achieve that goal. The difference between then and now is the knowledge and the technology that we've gained since then. If the political will and the money is there to achieve it, then I think it will happen. But that's not something that you and I have control over. We're just going to have to wait and see. I was born on the year of the almost fateful Apollo 13 mission in 1970. But ever since I was 5 years old, I've always wanted to see men return to the moon and go to Mars. But if either or both of those things happen before I leave this earth, well then, I'll die a happy man. Well, that's all from me from this episode of Mission Control News. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope you've found it informative. If you liked the video, then please hit the like button below, and if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon, because then you'll be notified when I upload more videos. Also, if you can comment below with anything you think I can do to improve Mission Control News, or any subjects you want to be covered, then please comment below. I'll publish another Mission Control News the same time next week on Wednesday, where we'll be talking about SpaceX and what they'll be doing. So that only leaves me to say thank you for watching, and science is truth.
That was a great video. If you had to guess, who do you think will reach Mars first? NASA or SpaceX?
NASA or SpaceX going to Mars first? Well, that's a question I think a lot of people are wondering and asking as well. I think if I had to be a betting man, I probably would put it on SpaceX. Reason for that is because NASA, as we know, is funded by tax dollars, and the tax dollars are really decided by politicians over there in the US. So presidents come and go, administrations come and go, politics can change as well, and we've seen that reflected really in the amount of time that since the Apollo program, and the fact that we never went to the moon was a very influential thing in that. So really, as much as NASA might be saying and how they're really focused on going to moon first and using that as a launching base really to get to Mars, it's not difficult to see that could quite easily stall. Whereas SpaceX, and also don't forget there's also got Blue Origin as well are coming through. They're not really influenced by politics. They're just driven by of course the program they have at the moment, launching satellites and creating revenue that way. So as long as they're launching satellites, they're going to create revenue, and of course Blue Origin could be in that position as well. So it's so we don't really know whether it's definitely going to be SpaceX, but if it definitely was going to be a race between the two, I think my money would be on SpaceX.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think it will be SpaceX as well. You also do a bit of debunking on your channel as well. I particularly enjoyed this next video. Let's have a look.
Hi, I'm the Casual Spaceman and welcome to my channel. You know, every now and again you come across a flat earther's channel name that speaks volumes about irony. Yeah, and no exception to that rule is, I think many of you heard of him, is Why You Are an Idiot. Yes, he comes from the giant magic tree fame called Tepal or Tupal or whatever it is. Anyway, let's find out. Cue the music. So what's my beef with Why You Are an Idiot? Well, I don't have any beef with him as such, but only with what he actually said. I happened to go on to listen to Planner Walk's open debate forum last week, and Why You Are an Idiot appeared under the Discord name as Skeptic. There was a lot of discussions going on, and then it ended up talking about the moon. And he showed a video of Red Reddick's video of the ISS transitioning in front of the moon, talked about that, a lot of things going backwards and forwards, and telling him that he got his measurements wrong. But then he also showed a video of something transitioning in front of the moon, something else on somebody else's video, which looked a little bit like a balloon or some balloons. And in fact, to some of us on that discussion, it looked like actually some children's balloons that have transitioned between the camera and the moon. That's what it looked like. But then he went on to claim that the moon has its own light source, and not only that, the moon must be much, much closer because whatever it was, those balloons, was casting a shadow on the moon. He then went also to claim that, yes, you can cast a shadow on a light source. Well, that might be true if you had a really strong light source and another really weak light source, you might be able to do that. But when you're claiming that something the size of the moon has its own light source, and you're casting a shadow from a balloon from a long, long, long way away, it kind of goes a little bit against reality, I think. So I couldn't let that lie, and I couldn't let it go unchallenged. So we had a bit of a discussion on Discord after the show, and this is how it went on. I couldn't let it get away with this, so I went straight in with my challenge. Come to my channel and prove you can cast a shadow on a light source. 45-minute debate.
Casual Spaceman, grab your phone, turn it on, put your hand nice and close and it will cast a shadow, lol. It's not hard, lol.
I did, and that is not a shadow, that's a silhouette. Come to my channel and prove it live.
Whatever you want to call it, you can see the shadowy figure passing by the phone. Anyone can do this.
Okay. Let's try it, shall we? Okay, Why You're an Idiot, or Skeptic, whatever you call. There's my hand in front of my phone. Where's the shadow? Hand in front of the phone. Where's the shadow? Hand in front of the phone. Where's the shadow?
my softbox light. Silhouette, hand in front of the light source. Where's the shadow? Hand in front of the light source. Where's the shadow? Okay, well, you're an idiot. Here's one light source. And here's another light source. My hand in front of the light source. Silhouette. Where's the shadow? Silhouette. Where's the shadow? Can you see the shadow? I can't. Silhouette. No shadow.
I feel a little bit embarrassed by doing something like this because it's not exactly scientific, is it? But sometimes you just got to point out the obvious to the flat earthers. And you'll understand why as the conversation on Discord went on, because he just won't accept that there was a difference between a shadow and a silhouette. And he just wouldn't accept my challenge to come to my channel and prove that you can cast a shadow on a light source. And he uses an excuse. You'll see what it is in a minute. I asked her several times in the Discord chat at that time, come to my channel and prove that you can cast a shadow on a light source. I asked her several times, maybe 3 or 4 times, and mostly he kept ignoring me. But eventually he replied with, are you sure you want to debate me? Lol. You saw what I did here and they struggled to answer questions. Firstly, he's deluded. Nobody struggled to answer his questions. What actually happened was he struggled to answer all our questions about the flat earth and shadows and the moon. So I replied with, oh yes, I want you to come to my channel and prove that you can cast a shadow on a light source 100%. Anyway, this went backwards and forwards all the time. And he did actually say, I will only have a debate with you unless I can debate religion. So I pushed him a little bit further. So I said, I want you to come to my channel and prove that you can cast a shadow on a light source. That's it. I'm not interested in religion. Do you agree, yes or no?
Casual Spaceman. Well, guess what? You believe in a religion, so I want a religious debate. And yes, it is not hard to grab your phone, turn it on, get it nice and close, and cast a shadow on it.
So this is the point where I actually tried to figure out whether he knows what the difference is between a shadow and a silhouette. So I kept challenging him, but all he just kept replying with what you see on the screen here. And also, as you can see, he doesn't believe in definition. He only believes in physical evidence. And again, I'm still challenging to come to my channel, but he still refuses because he wants a religious debate. And the reason why he wants a religious debate is because he knows I'm an atheist and I wouldn't allow religion on my channel. Well, things have changed because while you're an idiot, I hope you're watching this, but I've actually found somebody who's willing to have a religious debate with you on my channel. So what we can do is you and I can have a discussion for half an hour, 45 minutes, and we can talk about your casting a shadow on a light source, and we can talk about the moon, and we can talk about all those things if you wish for about 45 minutes, and then the other guy can take over and you can have your religious debate. So now you've got no excuse. So come to my channel, prove you can cast a shadow on a light source, and we can talk about those other things. And there's my challenge, because you've no excuse now. So I've got one other thing to ask you again. What's the difference between a shadow and a silhouette? And I want everybody that's watching this video, whenever you come across him in any debate or anything on social media or on chat or anything like that, is asking that question. What's the difference between a shadow and a silhouette? Because clearly he doesn't understand the difference. Well, I think that's enough stupid for one day. So that only leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. And if you like this video, please like below. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon and you'll be notified when I upload more videos. Also as well, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as possible. I now want to actually make this as my living. So I really would like you if you can consider becoming a patron. Any amount, I'll put the link in the description and below, and any amount will help my channel to grow. So that only leaves me to say thanks again for watching, and science is truth.
That was a great video. Do you enjoy doing debunks, and will you be expanding the debunking content on your channel?
Yes, I do debunks actually. I do the odd occasional one, as you can probably see on my channel. I recently did a live debunk on one against Owen Benjamin, and I really enjoyed doing that. I did get one aspect of it wrong, which I then corrected myself in another video afterwards. But other than that, I went really, really well actually. I had a lot more viewers than I have expected, and actually since it's been published, it's actually done quite a lot better than a lot of my videos have. So yes, I will be doing more debunks. I hope to do at least one a week. So look out for my channel, and hopefully looking at some stupidity. But it will be mostly about space. There's a lot of videos out there about ISS being fake, space being fake, and also about the moon. Not just about the moon landings as well. So that kind of thing. So yes, I hope to do a lot more of those in the future.
I will definitely be looking forward to that. Another thing I really love about your channel are the live launchings. Do you have any plans to travel to a launch site to get first-hand footage for your channel? I'm sure your viewers would love to see it.
Oh wow, yes. I would love the opportunity to get to a launch one day. I live in the UK, and sadly we don't have a lot of launches. In fact, we don't have any. But I would hope to get to one in the future. My dream is to go to Kennedy Space Center or one of the launch sites and see one or two live launches. But of course, the thing about launches is they can be unpredictable because it's weather dependent, and also accidents can happen. Technical things can go wrong, so they can be cancelled and postponed. Sometimes they have a second window of opportunity, maybe later on in the day or the following day, but that's not always the case. So if something like that, if I'm going to travel a great distance, perhaps even to a European one, but that's still going to be a long, long way away. So it's got to be planned very, very carefully, and things like scrub launches have got to be considered. But yeah, I'd love to in the future, but I don't think that's going to happen in the very near future, sadly.
Well, we certainly hope you get the opportunity. I wouldn't miss that stream for love nor money. Having said that, let's take a look at some of the highlights of your latest launch stream.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be, or good evening even. I'm the Casual Spaceman, your host. If there's anybody in the chat, if I can get a mic check, let me know if you can hear me okay. Okay, this is a United Launch Alliance, or ULA, launch of a Atlas V rocket, and it is launching a satellite for the US military. Entitled AEHF-5, apparently advanced extremely high frequency satellite. It's a communication satellites for the US military. There's usually a press pack that comes with most launches, but I didn't seem to be able to find one this time, so not a huge amount I can tell you about this one. Thing I like about the Atlas V launches is that they usually have a variation of different solid rocket boosters. And in this case I think they've got 5, so you will see 2 separate at some point, and then the final 3 are separate again. So it's always a good way to watch that. They tend to vary it depending on the payload. They've got 2 variations, but there seems to be lots of variations in terms of these solid rocket boosters, so it's always quite spectacular to watch. So really that's about all. As you would say, I've been checking everything else. Weather is satisfactory for launch, and the spacecraft and the rocket and boosters and everything else are all looking good. Everything all checks out. The cryogenic stage of the rocket will be fully fueled up by now, and they'll be making their final checks and getting ready for the terminal countdown at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check what ULA are doing at the moment, see everything's ready with them, and without further ado, everything's okay. I will hand over, and I think they are broadcasting directly from ULA, United Launch Alliance. So I think that's enough of me wittering on. I hope you enjoy the launch. At the end, if you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up, or even during, if you can, that basically the algorithms then will hopefully trigger some more people to come along and watch. And if you like it as well, if you could comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know how I can improve this broadcast as well, anything I might be doing wrong, anything you'd like to see or anything you'd like to know about before launch actually happens or anything afterwards. I appreciate your comments below. So without further ado, I shall now hand over. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. We're not hearing anything at the moment as the team is working the issue on the anomaly channel, but we are expecting to hear back from them soon as far as resolution and a new T0. We remain in the planned built-in hold as we continue to prepare for liftoff. The hold was extended just a little bit to solve a couple of anomalies, but we have a new T0 of 6:13 a.m. Eastern Time. In a few moments, launch conductor Scott Barney will poll the launch team for the final go to pick up the countdown.
28 seconds.
ECS reduced for launch.
Roger.
25.
Status check.
Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go AEH at 5.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have ignition, and we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket with AEHF-5 for the United States Air Force Space and Missile Systems Center.
Now 10 seconds in. Vehicle throttling down to 67% thrust. Engine response looks good. And PU system has gone to closed loop control as expected. System response looks good. 25 seconds in. RG-180 engine operating parameters look good. Now 35 seconds. Mach 1 Atlas V is now supersonic.
Yeah, just got a home O'Reilly. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, guys. I'm sorry I had to cut it a little bit short. It was a delayed liftoff, as we know, and I'm already running a little bit late, so I really got ahead on. Thank you very, very, very much for watching. Much, much appreciated. Before you go, if you can hit the thumbs up button, and if you can comment, then comment below as well. Really helps the YouTube algorithms to bring more people in as well to the video and to the stream as well, what have you as well. So what I'll do is there's no launches coming up in the very near future, but I'm going to do a stream of a video coming up shortly where I'll give a rundown of some of the launches coming up in the near future, and which ones I'm going to be streaming, what have you as well. So without further ado, thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
Well, that's about all the time we have. It's been a real pleasure having you here. Is there anything you would like to share with our viewers before we close out?
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and thank you very much for showing some of my videos. Well, I've got a big project coming up. Hopefully in and around the time I reach 1,000 subscribers. I'm sitting in and around about 900 at the moment, playing on a big charity event. So far I've got provisional agreements from 2 prominent flat earthers, anti-flat earthers I should say. I can't really say who they are at the moment because nothing's been confirmed. So they're actually very well known anti-flat earthers, so I had to have them on as well. A few others have expressed some interest from smaller channels and also 1 or 2 of the bigger channels on the US side. So plans to have a quiz, and it's going to be science based. Team UK against Team America or Team North America, quite possibly, and there's going to be 2 charities involved, one in the UK and one in the USA. So I'm not going to give you too much more away. So hopefully that'll be maybe beginning to mid-September. There's some launches coming up. There was one that was going to be on Saturday, but I understand that's now been postponed. That was a Falcon 9 launch of another one, so sadly that's not going to happen. But a few days later, I think we've got another launch. I forget who it is. I was only reading that just a short while ago before I made this video. Don't have the details yet. I will, beginning next week, probably do another live debunk, and also probably another mission control news, which I might well be using the background that I've got now. So look out for that as well. So yeah, that's what I've got planned so far.
That's great. Well, thanks again for speaking with us this evening. It was a real pleasure, and I look forward to your next video.
Well, again, thank you very much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for sharing some of my videos, and I look forward to seeing some of yours.
Thanks. And that about wraps things up for this evening. I hope you've enjoyed this special edition of the Friday Night Mega Mirror Special with our special guest, the Casual Spaceman. If you are new to this show or have not been to the Casual Spaceman's channel, I highly recommend that you launch yourself over there and orbit a while. I'm certain you'll enjoy your stay. If you have enjoyed tonight's show, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And remember to hit the bell to get notifications of new content on the channel. Also, please take a look around the Teespring Store, where you can get your very own steaming cup of reason, or a cool tea like mine. And with that, I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, this is Spike signing off. See ya!